Good morning, Westgate. I can't hear you guys. Good morning, Westgate. Thank you. I've always wanted to do that. All right. My name is Haus. I assist in the 4th grade classroom. And if you guys have seen me, I assist. I'm not an actual teacher, not yet, anyways. My parents work at the information desk, if you've seen them over there, as a conductor, I believe. But before I get into my testimony, could we just give another round of applause to the youth worship team? They've just been working really hard, yeah. I've always been coming to this church. I've been at this church actually my entire life. Even before I was born, my mom's been coming to this church. She was adopted through Michelle Brenner, if that name rings a bell to anyone. But as I grew up, I grew closer and closer to the world and not closer to Jesus. It was about my freshman year, second marking period of high school, where I started having more intrusive thoughts, more destructive behavior, more destructive actions I was taking with relationships. And it had gotten so bad that by the time I was entering my third marking period, I'd been at the lowest point I'd ever been spiritually. Actually, I had this idea in my mind that I could continue to live how I wanted to because God would just forgive me anyways. Yeah? That's not exactly the right one. So it's about this time in April of my freshman year when I'm on my phone, doom scrolling as a teenager does, and I see this post online, and it's about Judgment Day. And I have this, oh God moment, because I've been living a life of sin without Jesus, and I knew that this is not how God wanted me to live. So I see this post, and I run outside to my neighbors, the Black family, who are actually in the building right now. If they wanted to stand up and raise their hand or something, yep, they're over there. And I knock on their door, and I call my friend Josh, who I think is in the mezzanine section, and I show him this post. And he looks at the post, and he's unfazed. And I'm like, and I tell him, Josh, this whole time we haven't been building a relationship with Jesus. And he's like, who's we? So he takes me to his back porch, and for about an hour and a half, we're just talking about all the things that I've been dealing with, like my depressions, my anxieties about how other people were viewing me. And after he calmed me down and I felt good enough to go home, I went home and I really just meditated on what does Jesus want to do with my life. And that night, I just asked God for forgiveness of so many things on so many different levels. I was like, surely that's enough. But I kept falling back into sin and getting frustrated. And I was like, why isn't this working? So now we're moving on to my sophomore year of high school, and it's taken a full year. My grandma and just her constant answers to the questions I had about building a relationship with Jesus, the Blacks and their men's group that they had that I've been going to, the youth group and their constant outreach. And after that full year of sophomore high school, I'd felt confident enough to, just enter back into church, just participate. And then I'm in church, and Micah Souder walks up to me. And he's like, hey, Tyler, I haven't seen you at youth group a lot. I haven't seen you in church. Do you want to come to youth group? And I'm like, so I had gone to youth group originally freshman year, and I didn't really like the experience. But a little voice in the back of my head this time was saying, you should go. You should go. It's going to be a good time. So I went, and from that point on, I realized, wait, these people have really matured. These people are actually really, they're actually a lot better now. So I continued to go to youth group Sunday after Sunday, and I went to the winter retreat, and that winter retreat just completely blew me away. It was just so much, just seeing everyone just in prayer and worship, and just realized everyone the same age as me had this fire for God. And after that, I went to the spring retreat. And the spring retreat really there was actually Clay really challenged me to think more about prayer and worship and all my views on that. So from this whole time, from my freshman year to my junior year, it's had its ups, it's had its downs. Some of you know about my dad, who had recently been dealing with a bunch of sleep apnea and just like disease, but Jesus really helped him to work through that. He's actually in the building. He's working at the front desk if you guys want to say hi to him. But I'm going to end it off on this. Sometimes Jesus has to tear us down so that he can build us back up anew. Amen? So I'm going to hand the mic off to Braden. Okay? Thank you.